Welcome to the second channel. I'm not going to introduce myself because you already know who I am. So we're just going to basically be covering the exact details of how the $10,000 challenge worked and essentially all of the ways you could have solved the puzzles and how the whole thing was laid out because that's the only thing that people want to know pretty much. So yeah. Without wasting any of your time, let's get straight into the basics of it. So we started out October 24th, 2019 as a live stream. It was a simple live stream called "Someone who clicked this live stream will win $10,000. I thought it was very clickbait. It was a very, very juicy title, very juicy description, very juicy thumbnail, very juicy everything about it. A good color scheme to it. I think I did a pretty good job. The stream didn't go as viral as I wanted it to, but at the end of the day, it was kind of a good thing as well because it went kind of crazy. And if I had to deal with, a million people trying to do the same thing that I had to deal with already tens of thousands of people doing on the Discord server, then I think there would have been major problems. So at the same time, I'm kind of glad that it didn't go that viral. But anyways, that's besides the point. All it gets down to is 3 links in the description, which you pretty much had to get started with the stream or get started with the actual challenge itself. Obviously, some people didn't even know how to do it, so they just sat on the stream for about 5 days straight thinking that the money's just going to magically land in their PayPal account without even really knowing anything else. But in reality, obviously, that's not how it works at all. Yeah, you actually had to do some work, and quite a bit of work, to actually get even anywhere close to $10,000 prize. So yeah, you had to first click 1 out of 3 links that were in the description, and these links were pretty self-explanatory. You just click them. They're not in any particular order. They didn't have to be clicked in any particular fashion. You didn't have to whip out incognito mode. You didn't have to do anything like that. You just click the link, and they would go to 3 different videos. One would lead you to a video that would be titled, "Good job, you're right," and then the other 2 would be leading to videos called, "You're wrong." And essentially, each one of these 3 videos had clues to unlock something else later on, so you technically had to click on all 3 of them if you wanted to solve that clue. It wasn't impossible to get around it without solving that clue, but you could have done it. It would have made it a lot easier, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So if you were just lucky and you got it on the first try, you got the right link, then, well, it actually might not have been as good for you in the long run. But anyways, if you go to the right, basically, after that, you either go to the right or the left. Obviously, you guys remember that. Pretty much, 2 riddles. The easiest riddles in the entire game. The more you take, the more you leave. What am I? Obviously, you didn't even have to have an IQ above that of anyone who watches Rick and Morty to solve that. All you really needed to do was just go into Inspect Element and find the password on the web page, which was on Launchpad, which is one of my web pages that I pretty much dedicated for that one for the game, of course. But yeah, you could have gone into Inspect Element and seen the actual password itself. Unfortunately, I'm not skilled enough in code to be able to hide it on that kind of a level, but yeah. If you wanted to use your big brain skills, then you could have just, looked it up on Google, and you would have found out the answer is footsteps. Of course, it was quite easy. And then the second one, left. When's the only time Christmas becomes before Thanksgiving? In a dictionary. Everyone knows that. Okay, so you type that into that web page, and then you would unlock different things. So right here it says, when click right, lead to web page to lock past Thanksgiving. Slenderman would catch you if you went to the right. If you went to the left, you would get my coffee video where I'd just be sitting there drinking coffee, and then you would have a nice good section where you can go and reverse some stuff, and you can go see a special hidden message in there. Now essentially that would lead you to my Discord server. It would just basically be a simple code that would kind of lead you to investigate my channel. On my channel you would see that there was a specific link like the Discord that matched what I said in reverse. You would go to Discord, and also what I said in that video was something you had to pay attention to later on in order to unlock some other prizes, or to continue the game, and that's like way in the further stages. We'll get to that later on. So when you went on the Discord, first thing you were met with was a message that said, "Welcome to the game," and that was sent to you by a prize holder. Now, prize holder is an account run by multiple people. I'm going to get into that later on. Basically, you had to type your full legal name, date of birth, whatever. You didn't have to do that. I was just kind of being cringy, and I was being a little boomer about that. But, I just kind of wanted to be, have some legal, actual standpoint, because I was going to actually maybe make people travel physically. Therefore, typing your name was kind of like legal way of you kind of signing a kind of like a waiver, you know, just so I have legal proof that, you know, I didn't force you to do anything illegal or crazy if you end up dead, which thankfully didn't happen to anyone. But yeah, after you did that, you would go and type to prize holder a certain code, which was I wish to enter the game or I wish to join the game, something around. I don't even know myself, to be honest with you. I don't even have it written down here. But actually, if you were to do that, you would instantly get this new role on Discord called, what was it called? New Player. And with this, you can unlock this room on Discord, this channel, which was a date, which you basically had to wait until October 31st, 2019. The name of the actual channel itself was October 31st, 2019. Now, people were asking, when's Stage 2 gonna happen? Because this is all Stage 1. When's Stage 2 gonna happen? It's literally the name of the actual channel. I don't even know why I had to answer that question. Okay? Now, in order to get to Stage 2, you had to go to Advanced Players. In order to get to Advanced Players, you had to unlock a simple code word. And to do that, you had to go back to my oldest videos. Each of my oldest videos had a little word or little letter in the bottom of each description. Put it in order, you would have spelt out the word smart because you got big brain skills and you are smart. So you would have typed that as a command into the Discord. You would instantly be given the advanced player section and you can unlock the advanced players channel. From that point on, you could just sit there and wait, or you can go a whole step further and get to VIP. VIP section would have given you 1 day earlier access to Stage 2. And yeah, but not many people got to VIP. Most people stayed in advanced. Lucky you, because, well, I mean, that was kind of a smart move, because at the end of the day, that would have saved you a lot of time. There's not really a need to go into VIP. But the VIP players, they got a nice stream, and a stream to basically give them a countdown to when they would be able to get the Stage 2 early. So, after that, on October 31st, that's when Stage 2 actually came out at 12 a.m. A link was sent in my Discord, which sent a link to a new video. And if you guys remember, that was the video where I basically, the title of it was, "What is your favorite social network?" Now, in there was lots of glitches. That was during the time when my channel was being really glitched out. The channel was becoming more and more glitched every single day. Within the glitches of the channel, you could see a very small, hard to notice letter. If you use those letters, you could put them in order to solve a bonus clue, which would have led you to coordinates, which would unlock even more of a leeway to that final $10,000. Because to spoil it, $10,000 was buried in the desert somewhere. So yeah, pretty much everyone who wasn't willing to travel a couple of miles just to get somewhere to get $10,000, well, if you weren't willing to do that from the start, you basically wasted your time. Sorry. But anyways, at that point, Stage 2 came out, that video came out, people started getting really confused. All in all, really only a few people actually made it to the final video where that led after they went to my Instagram. Instagram had the letter B. The B led to a channel which had the same logo on there, which was called Berwiggy, my new channel. On Berwiggy, the only video uploaded on that same day was All-Star, but every single word is a Google image. If you were to click that, every single 32 images, there was one code word, one code letter, and this was also foreshadowing another clue, 32-bit integer limit, and you would use those letters and put them into YouTube / and then you'd fill out the code. This would lead you to the final video in Stage 2, which was probably the creepiest video of the entire game. It was a number station countdown where pretty much it would, you could decipher another code for another YouTube video ID if you used spectrogram. You could use the spectrogram to look in there and actually unlock the code from that point on. The letters were written inside the actual wavelengths of the thing. I don't even know. I just used a spectrogram generator online, so don't even ask me how it works. So, on November 15th, that's when Stage 3 came out. So at that point, that would lead you to another live stream. It would count down to November 15th. And after that live stream was deleted. The original live stream, more clues were added. There were small subliminal messages added to the music of that live stream at about November 15th. If you were there on the original live stream, if you just happened to listen to the music closely, you would have heard things being said subtly in the background, such as description, in my most popular video, so on and so forth. Basically, in the description of my most popular video was a link to another video of where Grande was explaining the next step, which was, you know, way later on, way later in December. So basically, the jump between Stage 2 and Stage 3 was a large one. The reason why it was extended was because so many people were having a hard time even figuring out the spectrograph thing, so I decided to give them a lot more time. And at the end of the day, it took people almost to the very end of the challenge to get there. So now it's like the end of December. The Grande video comes out explaining what to do next. The piano thing, which you probably saw a couple days ago. Basically, the point of that video was that Levels was being played. Avicii Levels was being played on the piano, of which every single note is also in a 32 sequence orientation. So basically every single note is 32 times until the sequence is repeated again, just like in the Bwiggy video, 32-bit integer limit. So the true password to the RAR file that was in the description of the Grande video was the 32-bit integer limit. If you unlock that correctly, you would be given a file, a note file that would give you the directions, the coordinates to 5 different locations across California. If you decided to think that you were going to go above and beyond and be all smart and beat the game by hacking WinRAR or having a password bypasser, too bad, you could not do that. Unfortunately, I have tools too, and I can make sure that you can't do that. So if you did do that, you would end up with a blank notepad file that just said good job, because you can't cheat in this game. Sorry, $10,000 on the line. Anyways, if you did do it legitimately, which only 5 people did, they would go to those 2 coordinates, or those 5 coordinates, I should say. And at those 5 coordinates, a certain thing was either put in plain sight or buried, whatever, and it would have a letter or a number, whatever, and it would spell out yet another video ID for YouTube. If you were to take that and put that into a video ID, you click enter, you go to finally the last video. Okay, now there was no indication that this was, you know, YouTube video ID, so it was even harder for people to even figure that out, and considering there's only 5 people left. Only 2 people finally were able to do that, but of course they shared it with the rest of the 5 people. At that point, they were working as a group, which I highly suggested against before, because only 1 person will get the grand prize, which yet not a single person has gotten the grand prize as of the recording of this video. They are still currently working for it right now, so technically the challenge isn't even over, but for basically everyone else it is. That's why I'm making this to begin with. So yeah, lots of stuff to cover here. Pretty much, once you would get, hypothetically, to all those 5 locations, you would have that video ID, you type it into YouTube, and in that video ID, it was just in that video that was posted on YouTube, it was just a simple 5-second clip, which basically had the coordinates to the final destination. So that last video was simply me talking in the video, where I basically explained that I was going to be contacting 10 lucky people who would click this video, or who would find this video, by hearting them in the comment section. Not even 10 people got to that video, so I couldn't pick 10 people. I just had to pick every single person who was on the video. Only about 5 people commented, because those are the only people that actually reached that video. It was an unlisted video on my channel. Now you may be asking, because you're kind of confused, how did I make sure all the videos were not visible to other people who didn't legitimately make it to that part of the video? How did I make sure that the videos were not shareable? Well, I literally clicked the actual setting on the video so it could not be shared outside of my YouTube channel. So that's actually a setting that is not really available for anyone who has under a certain amount of subscribers, I believe. But it was something that was available on the new YouTube Studio. So pretty much all unlisted videos on my channel could not be shared. If they were shared outside of my channel, or if they were embedded, or, you know, the link was put, you know, outside of YouTube or whatever like that, no one could click the link. It wouldn't lead to anything. YouTube would not, you know, be able to show you the video. So that's how I was able to make sure these videos were not leaked to anyone else. However, despite my measures of taking security, people still managed to, at least one person managed to leak the final level of the game, which happened only 2 days ago. On Discord, someone made it to the final level, because once they got to this video, I explained I was going to be choosing 10 people. I ended up choosing all of them. They were able to get a link to the final Discord server, which was part of the original server, but in a whole different private section. You couldn't see it. It was called the final level. Basically, these people got the invite to that. someone managed to somehow get to the advanced players section while they still had the final level role. So they went there and they leaked all the information. I had to ban them, of course, which sucked because they were close to getting the $10,000 they could have won, but because of that, they lost everything despite everything they did. So that's a good, reason why you should not do that. But anyways, after that, there were 4 people left in the game. 4 people that were left in that final channel on the server. And now basically there, they were given a series of puzzles on a certain website, which I'm not going to disclose because it's still going on. It's still private information. Now, this website is actually a public website that was made by a psychologist. And pretty much it had a sequence of puzzles that were really very hard, way harder than the first ones. Kind of like Cicada 3301 puzzles, but a little bit less ridiculous than that, a little bit more sensible than that. So they are currently still working on that as of right now, as I'm recording this video. If they were to miss one of these puzzles, they would be sent to a coordinates where there'd be a fake stack of money, a fake stack of counterfeit money, which would really suck if you're going to go all the way out there and dig up a fake stack of counterfeit money. But yeah, unfortunately, if you got one of them wrong, you'd be given the wrong coordinates. If you got every single one of them right, you'd be given the correct coordinate to the final buried location of the money. And you wouldn't know. It wouldn't tell you, obviously, if you got it wrong or if you got it right. You would have to wait until you dug it up. And if you dug it up and it said it was wrong, you would still have $100. I placed $100 in each of the wrong locations. There's only 3 wrong locations, so pretty much even if you did get it wrong, you'd still get $100 for participating. The final person would dig up the right one, the right location. If all 3 of them were to get it wrong, or all 4 of them, however many of the people who were participating, in this case 4 people left in the whole game who are still doing these puzzles. They started doing the puzzles about a day ago, like actually more like 12 hours ago. They're still working on it. That's how long it takes. To basically spoil it to you, since they're not allowed to watch this video anyways, 2 of them have already lost, so technically 1 person is the only one left who's capable of winning the $10,000. If all of them lose, then they all get to split the $10,000, which means basically each one will get $3,333, which is pretty good either way. But if the person who still is in the game, technically there's only 1 person who's still qualified in the game as of right now who can get the $10,000. If that person completes the rest of the challenges, the rest of the puzzles that they have to do, they're almost done, and they get the coordinates and they're willing to go there and they dig it up, then they will actually be able to get the $10,000. But as of right now, it's not entirely certain of whether or not it's going to happen. And that is the $10,000 ARG, and that is basically how it all works. And that is quite simple, if you ask me. I mean, it's really not that hard to understand. There's lots of stuff in here. I was planning this out since October of 2018. One day I just decided, I have $10,000 saved up. Might as well just give it to someone, because why not? I'll be able to get some good views off that. And at the same time, someone else will be able to get a lot richer. And hopefully I'll be able to, entertain a lot of people in the process, which I think I did. But yeah, now to cover some other details. Who is prize holder? Prize holder is multiple people. Prize holder is me and a bot that I programmed like 6 months ago, I believe, because I did another alternate reality game that was similar to this, where I gave only away $1,000 for a video called "Someone Who Clicks This Video Will Win $1,000" on my channel. Now, I programmed a bot to basically run the prize holder account and to pretty much give every single person the roles in Discord, but also I ran the account to do specific things, and also a few friends ran the account from time to time when I was too busy doing other things. I was obviously not capable to answer all your questions or answer pretty much any questions during the time. So yeah, pretty much everyone who participated in the game, you asked me a lot of questions, you added me a lot, you pinged prize holder a lot, you DM'd prize holder a lot, thinking that you could send some kind of secret code to prize holder or me. Unfortunately, that's not how it works, and I had to ignore a whole lot of DMs. Eventually, I had to disable my DMs because of that, not because I don't like you, but because it was simply hundreds, if not even thousands, every single day, if not even every single hour. So at the end of the day, I had to go ahead and pretty much delete that, and make sure that you guys couldn't do that anymore. And you were pretty much on the wrong track for a very long time, and I was very surprised how long it took everyone to pretty much get past that final stage and get on to stage 3, which is why the final video for stage 3, which was the Grande video, didn't even come out until December 30th, which was only one day before the challenge was supposed to end. Only a couple people made it past that point. So that's pretty much all there is to it. That is the challenge. That is pretty much everything. If you basically frequently ask questions, even though no one's asked this ever before, most likely. How much money did it cost to basically make this challenge? $10,000. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. How long I've been planning this out? Just about a year and a half. And essentially, do I think it was worth it? Yes and no. It was worth it because, well, I think it was fun to see everyone try to basically complete this challenge and 99% of the time fail miserably and hilariously at it. And it was also fun to pretty much see people who actually were able to complete the challenge either through their smart big brain skills or they were just lucky. Who knows? But yeah, anyways, at the end of the day, it was fun. And that's pretty much the only thing that matters. Will I do anything else like this in the future? Most likely not. This was ridiculous and stressful for pretty much everyone involved. But at the end of the day, I think in some weird cosmic way it was worth it. So, that's pretty much the challenge. My microphone literally just magically flies away from my face throughout this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. It's doing it again. Goodbye.